From massive cuts for the federal government to the current volatility of the stock market, there are many questions about America's future under the Trump administration. Calvin University is hosting a public panel addressing some of those questions tomorrow. And one of the panelists that will be speaking is Professor Emeritus of Politics, Doug Koopman. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor.
Well, thank you for having us here.
Well, we really appreciate it. So. In general, right now, certainly there's a lot going on. Most recently, President Trump's new tariffs, and before that, there were the mass layoffs. I mean, the volatility is out there. So what is it that you're going to be talking about? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Well, there's so many things, and we actually thought as a department at Calvin, there are about 4 areas that we want to address. Unfortunately, we have a professor who really specializes in each of those areas. So there'll be 4 of us in the panel, and one person is an expert in global development and international relations. So all of these issues about the reduction in USAID and in soft power, we have an expert, Tracy Caparis, who will talk about that. Then another set of things is about the court system and the constitutional law and this fight about district courts and appellate courts and the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And so we have someone who teaches constitutional law, Micah Watson, in our department, who will be talking about that. And then the third thing is really the relationship between the federal government and the states and localities is really a reworking of that relationship in the Trump administration. And so Mark Hessler will be talking about that because he teaches in those areas at Calvin. My areas are political parties and the Congress, and both of those things are super interesting all the time. But right now, particularly on the tariff issue, what is the Congress to do? And then why are Republicans so different than Democrats on this and so many other issues? So we think that kind of covers the range of issues that are in front of people today as they try to make sense of the news. And so we have the 4 of us in a panel, brief presentations, and then answering questions from the audience about all of those areas.
Were you called upon to come up with this panel? Because that is spot on, I think, right now, as far as people's concerns about what's going on in the country.
Well, we try to gauge what's happening both among our students, what are they concerned about, and then also in our connections in the community. Each of us involved in different ways in the community, and people are saying, hey, could you tell me about what's going on here? What's going on in the courts? And so we just kind of laid out what are the list of things and who in our department and at Calvin can best speak to those issues. So we kind of listen around to the community and what's their concerns. Can we offer some insight? Can we step back from the momentary panic or excitement and sort of analyze them a little more carefully?
And what are your thoughts right now on the volatility across the country? What do you normally advise people about?
Well, President Trump has come in and the Republican Party has come in, and he has a different base of support, and he really is challenging some long-standing assumptions about the Americans' role in the world and what kind of economy we should be promoting, and then what kind of values we should have as a society. And he's really challenging everything all of the time. We've had these challenges before. We've had presidents come in and try to reorder some major pieces. We're likely to go through it well, but there'll be a lot of tension and adjustment for some time. So we're just trying to provide a little historical context and also a little context about how resilient and dispersed the American political system is. We're pretty resilient. We've gotten through a lot of difficulties before. How might we get through these difficulties?
And what about with the court system?
Right. So the court system, it is very interesting, and it's an interesting time because different parties, when it's different issues, do like the fact that federal district courts can have nationwide bans or not. When it came to conservative federal district judges ruling, say, on COVID bans or something, the Democratic Party did not like the power of the lower federal district courts. Now it's a different issue and a different time, and the Republicans are concerned about that. So I do think the Trump administration is pushing the boundaries in a lot of ways, and pushing the boundaries of what the courts say and then how quickly or completely it obeys with those court orders. But it has not directly confronted the Supreme Court, nor has it really said we don't need to explain ourselves in courts. It's participating in the legal system as well. But it is an unusual time. a different set of issues, and so much else is going on. There's a natural anxiety about that, as well as anxiety about these other areas.
There's just a lot going on in general.
There's a lot
in many
going on.
different areas, yes. So how many are you expecting tomorrow?
Well, we have a room that's for a few hundred, but I think we might have to expand, change the venue at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to accommodate the audience. But it's a lot of interest. It's very important things, and it's open to the public. And folks are welcome to come by the Meter Center Lecture Hall at Calvin's campus.
Okay, 4 o'clock, and that is tomorrow. Good luck with the panel. It should be very interesting.
Thank you. You're looking forward to it.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.